Real shit. Cool and easy, don't smoke cheesy, but I'm breezy, let's go. I'm cool and easy, don't smoke cheesy, but I'm steezy, let's go. Cool and easy, don't smoke breezy, but I'm bluesy, let's go.
My nipple
I'm cool and
gets
I'm
you
cool and
mad
easy,
like.
but I'm bluesy, let's go.
So yeah, how you been? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been 2 months. Literally, the last time I
Yeah.
shot one, the
Yeah.
shoot we did. So it's just like, what is it, 17th of March, and it's the 31st of May.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that day I woke up that morning and I came straight back to Birmingham and I've just been in my house since, to be honest. Well, not in my house, but in my house.
Yeah, or like just in Brum, like not going anywhere.
The area.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't really been shooting or anything. I did a video shoot yesterday, but I haven't been doing no shoots. I've tried doing some home shoots, but Lord have mercy, they are hard.
That's what I'd be able to talk about, like some of the home, because I saw some of the stuff you're posting either on Twitter or Instagram.
They were
talking about how you're
hard.
trying to do home
Yeah.
shoots.
Yeah, so I've got this corner in my room. See if I can swap the camera around so you can have a look. This is the corner I use in my room. And you actually inspired me because of the small space we used. I thought, yeah, I can use this space.
Oh, yeah,
and I actually have that. Yeah, when I actually have this corner over here, I do excuse the mess. I was trying to do some stuff yesterday, some promo videos and whatnot. So I use this space of my room, and I just picked out a few outfits, and I had my ring light, which I use here. And my sisters were doing the light mainly, so it was like I'm in this corner posing, blah 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 blah, whilst they're here taking the photos. Because obviously the light's coming from this way, but because I don't have no space over there, we're kind of just okay. Yeah. My room's really cramped because I just have so much stuff and nowhere to put them. I'm in the process of sorting that out, but yeah, this is where we use them. We did I had these UV paint pens I actually bought from my time when I was doing events management, and when I was doing that, I did a UV paint party, and we painted on people. I was here mainly in this corner, and I had a few boxes here that I was leaning on and propping on. I used the door as a prop. I used my ring light as a prop, but because my sister was using the phone, their hands are quite shaky. A lot of the photos didn't come out how I wanted them to, so I just used the best of the photos I had. I think I had a burgundy jumpsuit on, like a bodysuit, and some burgundy boots that I actually got from a photographer called Hyper Hype. He's also an artist and a clothes designer. So he gave me those when I shot with him. So I just did some stuff in them with my Slay by Ear earrings that I'm actually promoting for. I'm an ambassador for them. And then I did an Illuminous jacket that I cut. I got that from Select. I shouldn't have cut it. I shouldn't have cut it.
Out good.
But I cut it. It's gone now. Because you don't get Illuminous jackets from everywhere. Do you know what I mean? But
Illuminous jacket.
I like to have my tits out in it, so
jacket.
I had to. Yeah. It's in the wash at the moment, but I'll send you the photo anyway, so I can show you. But it glows in the dark. I'm gonna take a picture of it with flashes put on it. It glows in the dark. So yeah. And then I've thought, I've got UV paints from when I used to do events. So we used them, and they drew all over me. They drew on my elephant tattoo. They drew on my stretch marks on my breast and on my bottom. And I think they did some on my arm, but it got everywhere. It was so messy. If I had a sheet, a backdrop to have put down, it would have been so much better. My cousin in the background, Full House. We are the Fuller House. We're the Black Fuller House. We are. So yeah. If I had a backdrop, and it would have saved mess, because the amount of mess we made, I don't know why I didn't think, if I'm going to take out UV paint pens, prevention's better than cure, but I did it anyway. But them shots came out great, and because I have this setting on my phone, because I actually use my phone, I didn't use a proper camera, but I'm investing. I use my phone, and I have a pro setting on there with my quad HD quality cameras. I'm just like, oh shit, I don't even know what that means, but okay, then let's go. So we did, and the photos were just so nice. They came out so good because I actually have a UV light. I have a black light as well, so my sister was able to hold the light directly wherever I needed it to show the prints and that. It was so exciting to just do a shoot at home because I'd just been waiting to get outside and just be shooting again. But it was hectic trying to do it with my two little sisters though. It was hard.
Well, I guess it's like
really hard.
Is it like different than like creating content? Because I guess like you put it on like a self-timer there because you're on your own.
Yeah, I mean, at home it's not really convenient because, like I said, we are the Fuller house. There are so much of us that live here that 1, I don't get no privacy. 2, there ain't no space, and 3, my life just can get crazy. Like I can be downstairs cleaning 1 minute and then I'm up here watching anime, and then I don't know, I'm going on a trip with my mom the next minute. So it's never really convenient for me to say, oh yeah, let me just take out some time to set up a studio in my room and do a shoot. And because I don't have the equipment either, that kind of is a layback for me. But now that I've been quarantined and that I'm at home all the time and I'm not doing anything, the one thing I've been thinking about is investing in getting that equipment so that I can do shoots from home, so that I can make it more convenient for myself, rather than saying, oh, it's not convenient because I don't have it, instead of just saying, well, I've got the money, I can just get it. So, but then again, that's why we have people like you, you know, just taking a nice little trip to Derby, just do a shoot with you.
I love how I wrote like loads of questions and you're just like answering all the questions without me even saying anything. I was like gonna ask like, how has the current pandemic changed like your modelling life? You're just like, oh yeah, I've just been doing like my own.
You know me, I'm a chatterbox.
Keep going, keep talking. Like...
I'm a chatterbox, you know. Well, I mean, the pandemic, it's been good. Like, there isn't a lot of privacy. It can get really frustrating when you live with so much people and you're obviously limited to where you can go and how far you can go. And because I live obviously with young people. Yes, no, ew, cheese snacker jacks. And because I live with so much young people and I live with my nan as well, me going out to shoot with people has been like just like 10,000 times extra cautious. Like I'll go to see family and stuff like that, but going to just meet up with a photographer who I haven't worked with before, or go into a last minute shoot, or even just having to get on the train to travel somewhere is too much of a caution for me at the moment because of how much people I live with. But I try to do as much as I can from home, and with the facilities I have and the spare time that I do have, because why is that? You know, I get my spare time. Even in quarantine, yeah, when you're locked up and you're not doing nothing, you ain't got no spare time. Like, you ain't got no spare time. The time you're using to procrastinate, you don't realize you're using to procrastinate. But I'm not procrastinating. I'm scheduling my shoots. I'm trying to look for new locations in Birmingham because there's so much studios in Birmingham I didn't know about yet. And I've been getting pushed in these little shubby studios and places where they don't have their own lighting. Like, it's just ridiculous. So I'm trying to find places which are more convenient for me instead of having to travel so far. We're not getting the quality that I need out of the shoots that I'm going to and the shoots that I'm investing my time and my money in. So that's what I've been doing. I've been contacting a lot of Birmingham-based photographers and people who own studios so that I can try and work around finding long-term relationships in Birmingham as well as outside of Birmingham, because currently the relationships I have that are the strongest relationships I have are outside of the UK. Like,
how does that work then when you like
Malaga? I shot in Malaga in 2019, and that photographer has done so much to. I love that shoot. You know, we did bondage, we did outdoor, he tried to take me up some hills. Yeah, I was too prying, man. I was too prying. There was houses around there and everything. It was like a cliffside. You know, people just live out of the way, kind of thing. People lived out there, so I didn't want to disturb their peace. Yeah. And then obviously I've got photographers in America and some in Ireland that I'm actually working with, like working towards working with, and people that I have worked with before that I'm looking towards working with again. But that's more or less outside of the UK. There's a lot of photographers like in the UK that I do work with, but I wouldn't necessarily say I'd work with them again. There's a few who are like Wolverhampton, Nottingham. Obviously you up in Derby. You're the only person in Derby I've ever shot with, you know. So you be lucky because I'm coming back to Derby to shoot with you. You've stolen it now. you've stolen it now. I went to Cardiff to shoot once, but I haven't shot with them again. But I mean, opportunities are everywhere in it. So there's always opportunity behind a closed door in it. So I feel like even though I'm quarantined, I shouldn't worry about like I'm not doing nothing right now, or I don't have no content right now, because the process of my modeling is still the journey in it. So I'm going to take my time and wait for quarantine to get lifted.
So how do you kind of like differentiate between kind of nude modeling and kind of like nude content for kind of like fans and stuff, like on OnlyFans? Like how do you...
Right. I've had so much people ask me this year. My content on OnlyFans is no different from my modeling. No different. It's just that the content on my OnlyFans is the full nudity content that I can't post anywhere else.
Oh, okay.
Now, the reason I jumped on OnlyFans was because I have the content to post. My content isn't vulgar. It's tasteful, it's arty, it's classical, it's modern, and it's very very chic. I say my art is chic because I'm not as erotic as most things are, but erotic can be done in ways very, very different from that is seen or generally known about. Erotic can be done using things just like lighting and angles and stuff like that, and a lot of people don't know that, and this is what I'm trying to put out there. Like, I'm not a photographer, I don't know how to take a perfect shot, but I know as a model that I need to know my angles, I need to know my positions in order to make sure that that shot comes out how it needs to. And sometimes it's not down to me, sometimes it's not down to the photographer, but it doesn't have to be. So I don't want to be rude in it, but not vulgar. It doesn't have to be vulgar.
I get what you mean.
Do you get what I'm saying? Nude ain't rude.
Yeah, it's good.
Nude ain't rude.
It's leading me on to two, because I was trying to find a tweet that you posted like a week ago.
Oh my gosh. Something about me. I'm not a nude. I'm not a porn star.
Industry or something.
Or I'm a nude model. Yeah.
Same industry.
I will actually find that thread. Yeah, same industry, different department.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And that's for a lot of things. There's so much stigma around the fact that I do nude modeling, and that I'm a natural nude model as well, because a lot of women don't look to natural nude models because that's not what's put out there. A lot of nude models are porn stars, webcam girls, strippers. That's where you see nudity, but nudity can be done in so many different ways, and I want to make that available to everyone, because I don't feel like no one should feel uncomfortable in their nudity. Not saying everyone should go out and like have a photo shoot and throw the photos on Instagram, but just to feel comfortable in your own nudities. You can do that in so many ways, and I feel like artistically as well that can be done, especially if you have someone who's backing the idea and is helping you to create it as well. And a lot of photographers recently have been more on that side, whereas when I started doing modeling, it was more, oh, these photographers just want to see a naked black girl. Like,
yeah, I guess it's kind of like
because they're paying.
It's a lot to do with like a male gaze thing that I've noticed. Like, because some of the photographers, like, you see their pictures and you're like, this is not good. Mm-hmm. But then they're probably paying the model, and then they're making money, so they're thinking, okay, I'll just...
A lot of money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you like negotiate?
It's not the way. Like, when I started modeling, I wasn't... Negotiation is so easy. Negotiation is so easy simply because you know what you want out of the deal. As you as a photographer, you want your pictures. It doesn't necessarily have to be a payment thing. It can be a trade thing. So if I'm getting these photos for my portfolio, they need to be worthy of going on my portfolio. So I need to see that you have the photos, you have the quality, the equipment and everything there to ensure that if I'm paying you as a photographer, I'm going to get back those pictures at that quality. Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas a lot of photographers will want to do TFP, which I didn't know about at first, which is time for prints or time for portfolio, where no one pays anyone and you do the work together and you both use the work for promotional and portfolio purposes. They're not for money, they're not to be sold, none of that there. They're not commercial stock, it's not that. But I've been in situations in which I've signed that release to say, yeah, this is a TFP shoot, but then my content's being used for commercial stuff and I've not known about it until after it's been sold, stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Which in that case, I'm eligible to sue because we've agreed on that TFP agreement. Do you get what I'm saying? Like there's nothing out of that. Whereas if I'm charging photographers, it would depend on the level in which I'm shooting. Say for example, I do shoot other things, like I don't just shoot nude. So yeah, what was I saying? Right, it depends on what I'm shooting. So if I was to say, for example, shoot lifestyle, it would be cheaper if I was to shoot than if I was to shoot something like erotic nude or art nude, simply because I'm not as vulnerable, for one, and it can be used for other things, like a lot of lifestyle work, a lot of fashion work, a lot of glamour work. I don't do it, so I do it for cheap, and it can be used for so many things. Like, okay, cool, I don't mind doing it for cheap. Whereas my art, nude, my topless, my lingerie, the things that I know are, one, vulnerable, and two, worthy of not just making me money, but making a photographer money as well, I have to ensure that I'm getting paid first, because it's me. Like, without me, you're not going to get these photos.
Yeah, true.
You're not going to get these photos. But it also depends on the depth of the shoot. Like, do I have to bring this? How far am I traveling? How long do I need to be there? Is my transport being covered? What other things do I take into consideration? How long I want to be there is one of the most important things, because a photographer will say to you, I need you for 4 hours, and you'll be there for 8, and then try to still pay you for the 4 hours. No.
8-hour shoot?
No. We worked for 8 hours. Sometimes it can get like that, because sometimes when you're traveling from location to location, or you're doing a full day shoot, or say for example you're doing a video shoot.
Oh, you mean
it can take long.
Yeah.
Like, it can be really, really dreary. But by the end of the day, you've made your money and you've put your work in to ensure that you have the product. Even if it's just the one photo that you need out of that whole shoot, you've ensured that you've stayed there in order to get that shot. So why must I be underpaid for my service? Do you get what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't underpay someone else for their service. Especially then, and then like things like being outdoors, I charge extra for being outdoors, because a lot of people don't understand the level of how much anemia can break down your system. Yeah, being outside and being naked, I don't mind, but if I'm freezing, yeah, there's not much I can do if I'm naked. So
yeah, imagine
for me to say, yeah, I'm charging extra for that shouldn't be a problem for some people. But a lot of photographers have retracted from wanting to do outdoor shoots because I charge extra. But that's just on my back, do you know what I mean? For my safety and stuff like that. Because that little extra money could buy me a new coat, so I don't have to worry for the next shoot, you know? People don't think about these things. I think ahead. I have to think about these things because I don't have a manager, because I don't have an agency or anything. I do have to take these things into consideration, hence why I've stopped doing TFP shoots. I don't know why I keep doing that. TFP shoots outside of Birmingham unless my travel's paid for, because at the end of the day, I shouldn't have to pay for my travel to get there, especially if I'm not getting paid. Like, the least you could do is get me there and back. I've gone to shoots in London and been stranded because my travel hasn't been covered, or because I've had to come into London and go quite out. I'm not even in London no more. I'm on the outskirts of Essex, or I'm in southeast London and need to get over here. Like, them things are ridiculous. If people aren't ensuring your safety, your travel and them things, is it really worth even going to the shoot? Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, you're gonna go through your ups and downs, and you are gonna get lost. As a model, you're gonna get lost, especially if you don't drive and you don't have no one to help you out. Like, you're gonna get lost. And I'm a person who I like to travel alone. I like to do things on my own, so I'm going to get lost. But if those things are patterned from the beginning, you don't have to worry about that. But then if it's patterned, you can have a contingency plan. There's no reason to say you can't have a contingency plan, because you've always got a plan A. But if you don't have a plan A, you've got nothing to fall on.
Have you ever thought about doing tours? I know a lot of models are doing that, make relationships with like studios, and then we'll go do a tour in like different cities.
I really want to. I really, really want to. And I actually spoke to someone yesterday who owns a studio, and his whole studio is just based on nude art and women, the women physique, basically. So when I contacted him, he was really surprised because he hadn't heard from anyone new since the pandemic had come up. So when I'd spoken to him, he was saying that there was obviously chance of collaboration and stuff like that, and saying that he actually knew a few other studios outside of Birmingham that he could send me to, and photographers that he could put me in touch with. So making the steps forward to obviously do that. I plan to shoot in his studio the end of June with another female to do an art nude shoot, and hopefully everything just goes well. It's a really cheap studio. He said it's a cozy space, but I'm gonna go up there and see. It's not in Birmingham, it's in Wolverhampton. But it's £15 an hour. Space is good, and he has props and lighting in there. I forgot what else he said, but I'm interested. Oh, he said something like, it's such an empowering place that there's even cocks and fannies drawn in the bathrooms.
Oh, it's like an art kind of thing. Okay, I thought you meant like graffiti.
Yeah.
Graffiti, but yeah.
No, and I just thought, I want to see this bathroom. I want to shoot in that bathroom. I'm ready to go and stand in that bathroom and pose around in the cubicles. Like, that to me is amazing. That I'm ready. I'm ready. Like, he's saying that there was a lot of different backdrops and different walls that you could use, which is something that I don't really do. I don't really use different backdrops to like set a scene. I always create the scene as myself. Yeah. And I think I do want to try different backdrops, because I did different backdrops with you. I did backdrops when I did my portfolio shoot, and I think I did different backdrops with a shoot I did in Birmingham with a girl I used to shoot with when I first started, but she hasn't got a camera at the moment. But I don't really work with backdrops. I like to be outdoors, man. Throw me outside. But this is why I can't wait to do this flower shoot that we've got. Wow. Yeah.
I thought like a lot of people would think being in a
I don't mind
because it's like more enclosed and people can't see you, so it's kind of like you can keep it secret.
I don't mind.
I guess it's different people. Even when I like shoot fashion,
I got nothing to hide. Yeah. I've done a lot of outdoor nude shoots. Like, I'd say my first 3 were studio shoots, and then once I got outdoors, that was it, man. And it was sunny. Like, I started modeling in the January, and then by the time May had come round, the sun was out, so I was out, and then I flew out in June and came back.
Oh, you doing it in Malaga?
And I was out when I was in June. Yeah, when I was out in June, it was sunny out there, so we did a lot of outdoor shoots. We did some shoots on a patio. We did some shoots. I actually plan to go back because we've got so much planned. Like, he did this painting for me when I was there, and I actually just received another one that Raquel Walker had painted for me, and she delivered that to me 2 days ago. So I want to go back and do another painting, but I also want to cast. And I know it sounds bad, but I really want to cast of my vagina, and I don't know where I'm going to put it.
Cast.
Yeah. I don't know where I'm going to put it. This is why I need to move out of my mom's house, because I want to put my vagina on the wall.
Have you ever thought about still life? Well, not still life. What's the word?
Yeah, I've done it.
I guess it is still. Is it?
Life art.
Life art. That's yeah.
I did it in Malaga. I did it with the photographer who drew that. He painted that, sorry, and a woman who lived above him. She had, I think she had Alzheimer's and something else, little Spanish woman. She didn't speak a word of English. But when I say she was just so happy to sit there and paint me, she gave me food, she gave me drinks, she followed me around and just called me beautiful. All she did was call me beautiful. And when I sat down, she paid me. And obviously you're not meant to go abroad and get paid for your work. And she was like, please just keep this as as goodwill for allowing me to do this. She painted anyway. So when I was in her house and looking around at her paintings, a lot of the stuff that she did was lifestyle paint, like portrait art. So she'd paint people who were like on the beach. she also did some of her, like her own art. So I was quite interested to see how she was going to draw me. And when she drew me, I was just like this cute little figure just sitting in her chair. I've got it, so I'll send it to you as well. I'll send you everything, man. I'll send you everything. My journey as a model has been so fun in the first year and a half, and it's been full of so much. I really just didn't expect this. When I put it up on Instagram, like, oh yeah, I want to be a nude model. Everyone was like, oh dear. I was like, yeah, like, I just didn't expect to be doing this a year and a half later. Like, I'm happy though.
So what kind of like, I don't know, like what did you kind of grow up with that kind of like spurred you to this moment? Or like what influenced like your ideas to do it?
Right, let's go for a walk and let's have a chat and a talk, yeah? My childhood was amazing. My childhood was great. I never suffered with no kind of abuse, no sexual abuse, no nothing like that. I've never felt like I was in the wrong body. I've never felt uncomfortable with who I was or how I was. I've always had my insecurities down to my marks on my face due to my acne and my eczema, which I had like in the middle of my arms and the back of my legs. I've still got it in the back of my legs a bit now, but those are the things that will get me down the most. They're really, really not my confidence. But other than that, I was always the high spirit in the room. Like, I've always been that free spirit. I do what I want. I say what I want. I'm very confident in who I am, how I am, and how I go about life. So when I started growing up and realizing that, oh shit, like, I was the first bitch to go through puberty in my school, and I've got the smallest tits. Like, where's the love? Like, where's the love? And then I thought, okay, maybe I'm asking the wrong question. Maybe I'm asking, why is it that we're different? And then when I kind of started looking into the differences of bodies and the way a female is and the way a female looks at herself and thinks about how she is perceived in other people's eyes and how that deters her emotions towards herself, I thought to myself, okay, maybe that's what's going wrong here. Maybe it is the inference and the perception of others that is causing this delay in self-love in women. And I thought, okay, I love myself. I look in the mirror every day and think, oh, butt naked girl, you look good. Like, I'm super confident in my naked body. I've always been like that around friends. I've never been like uncomfortable to dress around females, or I stopped wearing a bra like 5 years ago, and that gave me the biggest backlash. Not 5 years ago, sorry, 3 years ago. And that gave me the biggest backlash. I was like, simply walking through the city centre and people being able to see my nipples, I'd see how they look at me, but I never understood why. Like, what is it about my nipple that gets you mad? Like, what is it that makes you think, oh, you dirty bitch? Like, I ain't even done nothing to you. Yeah, like, come on. So I started talking to a lot of women. I told my mom that I wanted to do a shoot, and she didn't believe I was gonna do it. So I put it on Instagram, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to get into modeling, and I want to do nude modeling. So a model I knew contacted me and was like, oh, you know, contact this person. Da, 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 da. So I did, and I contacted him, and we did a shoot, and it kind of just went from there. Seeing myself on photos and seeing how happy I looked in my own skin, no clothes, no makeup, no nothing, just comfortable. I made myself. I just wanted to show other people, and then when I did show them, the reaction I got from them was nothing but love and a lot of confidence, and from a lot of women across the world. Actually, when I first started, a lot of women across the world, because I was doing Instagram promo stuff. I'm not paying for no more Instagram promo. I'm leaking my pockets. I was paying for Instagram promos, and a lot of women in China and Jamaica were actually contacting me to say how much they were happy to have found my page, to say that, you know, I'd push them to want to be more comfortable in their body after having children, or, you know, after having gone through bad relationships and been belittled and stuff like that. So I thought, okay, cool, let me keep doing it. But the main reason as to why I began doing nude modeling is because when I was 12, I did something very, very stupid, something all girls do. And it's not really something I talk about, but we're gonna go there. It's something very, very stupid. And like most girls, I did a video and it got out, but it was just me in the video. And when it got out, I never felt bad. Like, I felt bad for doing it. I felt bad because I was too young to be doing it. And I felt bad because I'd obviously hurt the person who I was in a relationship with, but I never felt bad. Like, when people would come to me and be like, oh, you're such a hoe because you did a video of yourself fingering yourself, I'm just like, well, it's my body. Like, at least I'm not sucking someone else's son's dick. Do you know what I mean? Like, at least I'm not getting it backed out on someone's mom's bed. Like, I was pleasing myself, and I felt good after I did it. And I've been very sexually active from I was young. So to be able to know my body and know what I like and know what I don't like, and say, okay, this is my preference. I can look at my body and say, you know what? Even though I have all these preferences and I like this and I don't like this, and sometimes I can be like this and sometimes I can be like that, my body's got to me through everything. So why must I feel ashamed? Why must I feel like my body is doing you harm? So much so that I must cover it up. So much so that it is law I must cover it up. Why? What's my pubic hairs doing to you? The hair on my head doesn't offend you. My eyebrows don't offend you. But if I was to cut off my eyebrows, you'd only worry about that for 24 hours. If I was to post a picture of my vagina out now, it's a problem. It's a problem for the rest of my life. People used to say things to me like, oh, you don't know what's going to happen to your life if that video gets out. My life's okay. My life's okay. My life is good. I have run businesses. I'm self-employed. I travel frequently when and as I want to. I make I make my money by myself. I don't have to ask for nothing. And when I do, I ask the people that live in this house here. Yeah? I don't run to no one else. I ask the people that live in my house with, because those are the people who support me. Because when I said to them, okay, this is what I'm going to do, they was like, oh, you know what? Don't do it. My mom was fuming. Like, she wasn't having it. And I was like, well, I'm going to do it anyway. Like, she knows how I stay. When I asked her if I could get my tongue, when I could get this pierced, she said, do it if you're bad. So what do you think I did? What do you think I did? So I came back home with it. The only thing is, my granddad was sitting in the kitchen and it was his birthday and he don't fuck with piercings in it. So I had to make sure it was all tucked underneath my lip, you get me? But yeah, I've never been afraid of my body. I've never been afraid of what people thought about my body. Like, even having the smallest breasts or the smallest frame, or I didn't have the nicest hair, I was always very, very confident, and I didn't see why the friends that I had and the girls that were around me didn't have that level of confidence and what it was they were struggling with. But over time, I have realized that it really is other people and the influence they have. Like, if there was no such law as having to wear clothes, if there was no such thing as public indecency, I'd be walking around here naked, you know, no one could tell me nothing. I swear on my life, I swear to God. And this is why I'm so like eager to go to other countries and see how they live, because a part of the journey into obviously understanding what had happened along the road when it comes to nudity, because nudity was it was an uplifting thing back then. Back in the day, it was an uplifting thing. Like, to see nudity was like, ooh. And nudity represented something like the female nude body represented fertility, wholeness, family, togetherness, unity, strength. And now, what does it represent? It represents so many different things, because we've allowed people's perceptions and people's greed as well to overcome the purpose of nudity. Like, because people get paid so much, like what I've realized on OnlyFans as well, is because people get paid so much and will pay so much for profanity, it's what sells, and sex sells. So I'm not going to say, oh yes, I'm going to stop this, because I don't want to stop the porn industry. Make your money, hunty. I'm not stopping no one. But the thing I'm doing now is trying to stop the continuous evolution of lacking in confidence, women lacking in confidence because of other people, because women subconsciously listen to other people and will allow those little comments here and there to hinder how they feel about themselves and kind of put themselves away in the shell. That's why a lot of girls, and it is sad to say, hide behind makeup and weave and stuff like that. And I'm not hating on none of them, because I've done it. I've worn makeup for shoots, and I've bought a wig so that I didn't have to do my hair, and I've done the whole extensions and the palaver. But you're not going to get buried with that. You're not going to get buried with that. The last thing you're going in there with is your body. The clothes that are on your skin, them not going to last long. them not gonna last long because your body's gonna decay, and then that's it. That's you done. So love the body you in is my message to people, and I feel like the way I was throwing it out there when I started modeling wasn't the right way because I wasn't going the right way about it. I wasn't saying this is what I want to do in shoots. I wasn't getting what I wanted to get out of it. So now I kind of work with people who have the same vision as me and want to kind of create the same thing as me, because there's a lot of Black people out there, yeah, and I'm saying it, I'm putting it on it, I'm saying it now. There's so many Black people out there, yeah, that have these messages, yeah, that they want to create, that they can't do through words, that they can't do through speech, but can do through vision, yeah, through visionary, through creating a piece, from taking a damn picture. There's so much madness you can do, and I feel like photography has been the way for a long time. Like everyone, there's a lot of people who are very into music, there's a lot of people who are into poetry, but I feel like pictures are so important, and I've seen it and I've been a witness to it in my family. We hoard photos, you know, we buy photos from free prints all the time, and we've just got them there. They're not in photo albums, they're not on the wall. Some of them just are there because it's that moment that, you know, it puts a stamp on something, you get me? And I kind of want to have that stamp. I want that to be my stamp, to be not necessarily like the face of empowerment or anything, but I don't want women to be so fucking flustered by opinions, by criticism, by the hierarchies that social media are putting in, by the laws that we are made to abide by. I want to know, yeah. I want to find these man, yeah. I want to find their graves, yeah. The man them that wrote the law. I need to find them. We need to talk, yeah. Because I feel disrespected, yeah. I feel like a lot. And then rotted. I nearly fell off nothing. And then another thing is like, because things have changed so much over time, I don't feel like a lot of rules, a lot of laws, a lot of stigmas, a lot of morals, and a lot of teachings even apply in this day and age. And because we're not willing to let go of that fact, we're gonna always look at nudity as, oh my gosh, ew. So I'm finna change for my generation, definitely, because I know a lot of my generation look at me like, oh my God, she's that OnlyFans girl. No, I'm not. I'm not an OnlyFans girl. I'm a nude empowerment, an art model, and a natural body activist. Yeah? You see it there? A lot of labeling can be so damaging in our generation. I don't want that. I don't want that.
I've noticed like a lot in the OnlyFans community, a lot of the people like really support each other, even if they don't like not agree, but even if they don't do that style of modeling, they'll support it. Or maybe I'm just because I keep
someone asked me this yesterday.
Like, oh, everybody's like that. But is there a divide? Is it kind of like?
I mean, I think there would be a divide financially. I think there's a divide in how much or what kind of attention they're getting, because the attention I get from my subscribers isn't something that I can imagine that the attention of a webcam girl is getting, simply because I speak to my subscribers. I ask them what content they enjoy. I ask them what they think I should do more of, what they think I look best in, and not necessarily to be flirty or seductive, but so that I know what my customer wants, so that I can also give that to you and incorporate that in the content I'm creating. So I suppose that's the only difference between the content I'm creating for OnlyFans and the content I create for social media and stuff like that. But there wouldn't be no difference because I don't work to those levels. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you don't really have like a identity, alter ego almost. It's kind of like you are just Rika everywhere. Like, yeah,
like I'm just like, okay, this is your idea. I can fit it in. Like I can do that. I can just, we can stamp it in, but it's not going to be a whole 4 hours of me like playing with a vibrator. It's just not, because I don't have time nor space for that. Do you know how much washing we do here? 8 people live in this house, so you imagine when we have house guests, you know how much washing we have to do? You think I'm going to wet up my sheets and have to put them in the water? No, it's long, man. Especially when I've just changed my sheets as well. No, man, I don't have time. Nah, man. Nah, what I must do it on the floor and then mop it up? No, man. I'm too feisty. What? Because you're gonna pay me? Oh, no, I don't think so. I'm not interested. Because that's not the work that I've gone into. And I suppose the only other thing that would separate us would be the content, because there's a lot of girls who I promote specifically because we have the same body type or we have the same look, because that obviously is one of the ways to get subscribers, because that's what they're looking for. Do you know what I mean? I don't care what these guys are doing. Someone asked me yesterday, like, oh, how come you're telling me you're not doing all of this, but you promote them girl who do this? I don't care what they do. Make your money, baby. I don't care. I don't care, because that's you and this is me. It's not affecting me. I'm not losing money. I'm not losing sleep. I'm not losing hair. Thank God. Touch wood. I'm not losing no sleep. So I don't have to be worried about what them girls do. I don't have to be concerned with how it reflects on me, because if you know me, you know what I'm doing. If you don't know me, you should get to know.
Where do you feel like you want everything to kind of like end up? Like, where do you see like the Malika in like 20 years?
TED Talks. I want to do seminars. And I just want to travel. I just want to travel. Like, I don't want to just say, okay, I'm stuck in this place and this is my life. I'm not too keen on having a routine, or I feel like I need a routine. It would be great if I had a routine, but I don't like being stuck in a routine. I'm so used to this impulsive life, just having to sporadically run around. And like, if it wasn't for being so spontaneous and for being so impulsive, I would not have gone to New York. I wouldn't have flown to Malaga on my own. Like, I had 6 hours to get to the plane when I needed to go to New York. I wouldn't have stood up in front of anyone naked to take photos. This is the life I live. This is the life I like. And I kind of want it to continue how it is. I mean, when I'm, say, 40, yeah, definitely want to be on my TED Talks, doing tours on my TED Talks, and, you know, really speaking to people, really getting the message that I was trying to get out with words, that I was trying to get out with the photos, because not everyone's going to infer it the same way. Not everyone's going to look at it and see the message I was trying to get across, and sometimes it will take explaining, which is why I like doing these interviews and these one-to-ones. I feel like they're really important for people who don't really understand the concept or don't understand what you was trying to do behind it. I'm still yet to do a video about that shoot, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm waiting on some more photos so I can throw them up in there like, bitch, I did this, we did this, I did this, we did this. I do want to meet a lot more models, and I think that's the one thing that I think I'm lacking in with my modeling, is not keeping relationships with models, because a lot of the models I have met have been in London. So obviously traveling to and fro, especially during this pandemic, is not possible. But the ones that are in Birmingham, it's like, I don't know where they are. Like,
I thought like, a lot of them, like London and Birmingham, like, everyone is, to me, in Derby, that I guess it's like everyone seems like they're from everywhere else.
Well, you're gonna have to send these people to me, because I don't know where they are.
But then you
really don't know where they are.
The type of model that's like similar to like what you do, or I guess that's what it is.
To be honest,
kind of fit like your kind of like visions.
Yeah, that is the ideal. I don't mind what you look like. I don't mind what you do in your personal life. I really don't care. As long as you can keep it in the business and create something amazing, I'm down. I'm down. Because there's so much you can do when you're working with other people who are on the same path as you. There's so much you can do. Like, without the photographers that I've been working with, I'd have been stuck, because I'm just in my house. I'd have been so stuck. So I'm really, really grateful for the people who have actually been contacting me to try and keep shoots and shoot plans in order, so that, you know, I can still get my content. My phone is about to die, so if it dies, I'm going to put it on the charge and call you straight back, unless you want to clip it, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and then I was trying to think of like a cool segue to kind of like end it, like, oh yeah, and then now, but it's just been like a normal conversation.
I'm cool and blue.